Josh. Podcast. It's good to be back.
It is good to be back.
It's been...
Love to be back.
Yeah. So, we've tried 2 times now to record podcasts. We've had...
last year.
We had, like, great special guests, and everything stopped.
Yeah. Audio, man. You think it's supposed to be the easy thing.
And it's not.
It's not. It's
the thing
maybe the hard thing.
It's not. But, the people aren't here to hear about our audio woes.
Nope, they aren't. Because they're hearing, hopefully, great audio right now.
And if not, we're still putting this out anyways.
Okay.
Because
all right. Well,
that's just how it's going to go.
You get it.
We have 2 sources of audio coming right now. We have this microphone, and then we have the wireless mics. Last time we used the wireless mics, they clipped terribly.
Yeah, I'm loud.
You guys have all complained, it's bumping on the table, and now it's making sounds. Guess what? We moved it off the table, but now it's in the back of the room, so we had to try. The point is, we're glad you're here.
Yes.
That you stuck with us.
Yes.
It's our intent to podcast once a day for the rest of the year.
Correct.
Yeah.
Forever.
We have so much to talk about.
It's never going to end. We do have a lot to talk about.
Can you believe how much crap I have?
Yeah, I came in here. I got to tell you guys, there's a lot of stuff in here normally, and then there was a lot of stuff in here.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get it all in my Goodies profile, which if you haven't downloaded Goodies yet, check it out. It's a great new negotiation app for buying and selling, really manageable fees, but also it's a place where you can go buy things whether or not you are there to sell something, or if you're wanting to buy something, you can list it as a listing and say, I want to buy, this Spyro toy, or I probably have to pick a game.
Sure.
And then
is it just games?
It's just games.
Just games.
But
okay.
it's the fair market value. So if you got stuff you want to unload, let's go to it. But thank you, Goodies, for being a sponsor of the channel.
Yes.
And of the Finish the Hunt series, which is doing quite well.
Yes. Yeah.
Having fun with that.
How exciting.
Yeah. Well, let's get into a little bit of news.
Okay.
We wanted to talk about some of the hubbub.
There's a couple things.
Physical and digital, and the inevitable way of the future, which you are all for. Mm-hmm. You're on board with a no physical games future.
I don't know if I would say I'm all for it. I will say that I'm participating in it completely. So okay. I'm not helping the cause if you don't like it. But I'm with you in spirit. I'm just not on the picket lines because I'm downloading too many games on my PlayStation.
Are you worried about, like, with the news of the PlayStation Store deleting?
Yeah, totally. It's sad that, like, some of my ideas were like, well, I guess if those games go away, I already played them.
Yeah.
But then I thought, like, that is such a terrible.
Consumer.
Like, it's just a terrible position to be in where you're like, well, there's so many games. I guess it's fine if they start disappearing.
Yeah.
But the reality is, like, no, I would much rather them all be available.
Yeah.
Even if I don't buy them, I would like to be I wish I was the odd man out. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm just buying it digitally. But the reality is there's so many games that, like, they don't work when they get shut down. Like, a physical copy doesn't even do you any good anymore.
Right, yeah.
So I don't know, it's not great. So I care about preservation even though I don't participate in it because I think things should be preserved.
So you're just like a hypocrite.
I'm basically huge hypocrite. I'm solidarity from my couch. I'm never going to get up to help you guys.
Because you're streaming too many games and you can't get up.
I've downloaded too many games that I can't play them. Also, I download so many games that I don't even remember to play games that I bought.
Yeah. I wonder if...
I mean, you have somewhat of a problem with that, but you have a reason, I guess.
Small problem. But the issue I wonder about, truly, if you're really to reckon with this, how many times do you go, look at these new exciting games coming out? But I'm going to pull a GameCube game off of the shelf. Right. How many times do we go back to our old games to begin with? It is a fair question, and it is one that I think is probably one that is worth reckoning with.
I'm looking forward to the collapse of the modern game system so that I have nothing else to play and can just be like, well, it's time to just start playing Super Nintendo games again.
Yeah, come back to my house.
I'm actually looking forward to that.
I've got a few of them.
Yeah, you do. Well, so, one of the big news things was, we've been hearing rumors all over of these kinds of things, but there's now images that are sort of, I guess, supporting this rumor even more, because now there's physical evidence of it, of an all-white, all-digital Xbox Series X.
How about it?
Now, the S is all digital already, right?
Already.
Okay. So the X was the one that you bought if you wanted to buy discs.
Yes.
So now they're going to make it so that there's a potential that if they stop making the Series X, that line, then they make just this one, that there isn't an Xbox that will take a disc.
Yes.
Now, PlayStation's kind of doing the same thing, right? The PlayStation Slim has
buy the extra disc
you
drive
got to buy an
separately.
extra disc drive. Xbox could do the same thing.
They could.
They could sell you a disc drive, but like, what if the disc drive breaks? What if there's weird, sometimes where they would like pair the disc drive to the console itself, so you could never resell it, or like you can never. There's all kinds of ways that could go bad. It certainly seems like this is happening. So we already have two of the big three sort of making it more difficult to put a disc in.
Yes.
I know we haven't talked in a while, but we were getting ready for a Switch 2 this year, and now it sounds like that's not going to happen. Sounds like it's going to happen early next year. But is the Switch going to have? I'm assuming yes, but is it going to have a card slot?
Yeah. Okay. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me in this day and age. Go back to why we had discs and cartridges in the first place, because someone made some data.
Yep.
In the form a game in the form of data, and then they put that on something that was then mass produced so that people could enjoy it. But now you don't need to distribute the data in the same way.
No.
Now, part of distributing that data was, we got to sell this thing. So let's make some cool cover art for it. Mega Man 1 comes to mind immediately, of course.
Yep.
If
you're in North America,
Ninja with
for
his
sure.
sweet little ponytail.
Yep.
That was one option, and then the manual, that was a good time. I got to read that when I would bring it home from the rental store. I don't have that experience anymore. I get a little insert if I'm lucky with maybe some DLC on it, at most an advertisement. That's kind of it.
It's weird that you say that, because like it feels like that's super old, but I did that with the original Xbox when I was working at IKEA.
Yeah.
I bought Fable on my way into work.
You're just reading the manual.
And at lunch, I was just sitting there reading the manual, looking through it, being like, I wish I was home playing this right now.
That was part of the experience
that wasn't that. I mean, that was a long time ago, but it wasn't that long ago. It wasn't like the Super Nintendo age. It was.
That was over 20 years ago.
I know.
That was a long time ago. So. Because Xbox came out in what, 2000?
It came out in 2001, but Fable came out in 2004. It would have been 2004.
So it was 20 years ago.
20
it's 2024.
Gee.
What the heck? Anyway, that was back when you had hair.
I did have hair.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but I still had some.
Yeah, we do that. But the point of all of this, Josh, that I'm trying to make right now is this. That I think that now that we have the modern convenience of digital platforms, we now have more people who can make games than they could ever make them before.
Yes, correct.
They can show us their good gameplay, design ideas, and talent in ways they never could before.
Yep.
Just like you can with every single industry, video editing, music creation, filmmaking, everything now you can, it's so much more in the hands of the creator than it's ever been.
Totally. And obviously it is great for, to be able to put out games and to have them, it comes out for everyone, they download it. Hey, there's a bug. Hey, we put out a patch now because you got it digitally. Now of course, people abuse that by like making broken games immediately and just saying we'll patch it later.
Yeah,
but
Star Wars Battlefront.
Totally.
Yeah.
But there are situations like Metroid Other M, which had a game-breaking bug on the Wii. They didn't have the ability to patch games on the Wii.
Yeah.
You'd have to send your save card in to Nintendo for them to manually fix it one by one.
Yeah, that's rough.
So, if what's better, you got to on the other side. It's better. Or like some Super Nintendo games, it's just like, well, there's just a bug. GoldenEye, those proximity mines don't fall.
Yeah.
They're never going to fall.
Yeah.
That we forgot that bug and we printed 1 million of those cards.
But that's the fun thing, is that it becomes a part of the game.
Yeah.
Is the bugs and everything and all of that, which is not the way it's supposed to be, but it's the way it is. Long story short, now we're at this point in the future where we go digital only. The problem I think people have is they're like, I paid for this, I should be able to have it forever.
Correct.
The problem, friends, is that everything that we buy is in a constant state of deterioration, and everything we have is, including our own bodies and everything else. And so some of it is grappling with the idea of ownership and what is it that you actually own.
Right.
And like essentially, Xbox I think is saying we're gonna let you own the experience of playing a lot of games, but not necessarily the games themselves. And their service I think is great, but also that's as an old school gamer, that's not what I come to the Xbox Series X in mind with, is to get the experience of downloading and playing the games. I want the experience of owning the games,
Right.
but I can't own them the way that I can own other things. And that's ultimately, I think, where the crux of the argument is what am I actually paying for?
Correct.
And I don't know.
You
That's a good
know,
question.
you could make an argument that you ask the same question of what you're paying for when you go to the movie theater and you buy a movie ticket. Mm-hmm. What did you pay for? You paid for the experience.
Yes.
That's it.
You don't own the movie.
You don't own the movie. You don't get to take it home. You don't get to do anything with it. In fact, you're limited by the exact way that you can experience that movie, which is to sit very specifically in a certain area and look at a very specific screen. You can't pause it. You can't get popcorn for a reasonable price.
The sound might be good or bad.
Sound might be good or bad. You certainly can't turn it up or down.
Nope.
That might be the argument they make. Now, movie tickets cost too much already, but they don't cost $70.
They don't cost $70. Although I would say that games are cheaper now than they have ever
It is true. That is true.
I was looking at a Toys R Us ad ad. I screenshotted it where it was listing all of the prices of this brand new N64 console just come out. Guess how much Turok 1 was in
cart.
the ad? For a brand new, copy from Toys R Us. Guess how much that cost?
I'm going to say $79.
$74.99.
$74.99.
In 1998.
Yeah, that's 98 money. That's not now money either.
So that's roughly double that now in
Probably,
inflation, maybe?
probably around.
So let's go a little. Let's say it's $130 to play Turok brand new, which is, not too far off what a boxed copy is.
You know how much I paid for Super Mario RPG on the Super Nintendo?
$100.
$90 at Target.
Yeah.
And that was $90 in like 94.
Yeah.
Right?
So almost $200.
Almost. And back then, it wasn't exactly analogous, but you almost knew like, well, I'm paying $90 for this game. This is a good game. Yeah. Like you can get Virtual Bart for $40.
Yeah.
Virtual Bart's not a very good game.
No.
But it specifically had to do with just the amount of RAM chips they put on the cart. Because they used to put physical hardware on the actual. That's when they talk about the Super FX chip. That chip is in the cart itself.
Right.
So they put technology in the carts. So Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy III, these big games you're doing, they took up more RAM, so they were more expensive to make physically. So it wasn't exactly what it meant is that this game might have a lot more length to it. Not necessarily good.
Yeah.
But that's how that would work. It's wild to think of, but I didn't play anywhere near the amount of games that I play now.
No. Well, what I wonder about is not only not playing near the amount of games as we do today, but I wonder if we think of it as consumers, if I'm the game publisher, manufacturer, distributor, whoever's collecting the money at the end of the sale, which I guess would be the publisher.
Yep.
I wonder if they realize what they're selling the gamer, because this is, I think, really important. When we had somebody on recently, they were talking to us about who was not able to actually appear in the episode.
Because the audio went.
Yeah. But it was interesting because they work for a major game studio, and we were kind of just talking with them about what's there. And I was like, well, what about limited run games? When everything goes digital, do they just go out of business?
Right.
And they made the argument that, like, well, collectors are still going to want to get cool things to go with their game. So, yes, it might come with that digital code or whatever because that hand is forced because a console won't be able to take an actual cartridge. But it's going to come with the cool art book and CD and all that stuff that we collectors supposedly want, because certainly we're opening all those things up and putting them in and listening to them. Right, guys?
Right.
Not always. So
Not always.
Anyway, the point of it being that I wonder if there's like a middle road on this. I think what we're going to be start to see is a collector's edition will just be an edition that has physical items to go with the game.
Yep.
Not
and
necessarily really big, but just maybe a little bit small, and then a code or whatever. Like the way they've done with the God of War games and Horizon, it came with a steelbook and a digital code, but no actual physical game.
Or for some of the special editions for multi-platform games, they only make one of them. They're like, we're not going to make a PlayStation or Xbox one. We'll let you pick the code you want out of the edition you want, but here's the same stuff because it's the same statue and it's the same trading cards, and it's the same. Man, there's some digital editions now that I'm thinking of. Like, I think I'd rather that would a physical thing would be cooler than like the game disc.
Yeah.
Barely want the game disc. Yeah. But here's the big question I have for you.
Let's go.
As a collector expert.
Okay.
A genius collector.
Your words, not mine, but I won't disagree.
If the Xbox is the new line of Xbox, they're like, we're done. There's no more disk drives in.
Yes.
Every Xbox Series X and S after this will be digital only.
Yeah.
What happens to the X? That means that they stop make. Well, maybe they would still make Xbox games on. But let's just say they go far enough to where they don't even make now. Within a generation of it, they're no longer even putting the games out on disc. What happens to the library of Xbox Series S and X discs now? Do they become collectors? Like, do they become more valuable because now they are a thing, but there's less things that can play them?
This is really the question I think a lot of people are hedging some bets on right now.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Because, like, the question is, will it make the prices go up, or will they go in the trash because they're useless?
Exactly.
And ultimately, those old discs for the Xbox, for the PS4, the PS5, the Xbox Series X, even the 360 PS3, all of those discs have updates to go along with them to make them fully playable, fully optimized. And so, what are you actually getting on the disc? So, would it be collectible? And I would say only in those cases where there's those delisted games like Spec Ops, the line just got delisted, and maybe that's the only way you're going to play it. I think what's happening is, like, I was on a podcast recently with Radical Reggie and Figsy and Joe Rad, and one of the things that they said was Joe Rad was joking about he was gonna buy a bunch of different PS3s, throw every game into him, download all the updates, and have them saved on his hard drive so that, like, he
basically becomes the update server going forward.
Yeah, which I think, like, I've never,
not a terrible idea.
I've never been surprised at the ways that gamers solve this kind of problems due to the passion of gamers in general. Like, we love our consoles, we love our systems, we love
sometimes
playing.
People just like problems too. They're like, I can solve this problem.
Yeah,
like
and it's cool because they're good solutions.
Do you know much about this is like a tangent, but like the PT like story?
Yes, and the PlayStations with that demo on it are worth $1,000,
which is crazy because people did make a way for you to, if you had the license, it's tied to your account and the console. They took it off the server so PT couldn't be downloaded anymore, even if you had the license. But then people made an alternate server where you could get a copy of the data, but you still, if you didn't have the license, like the entitlement, essentially, on your authorized to your console, you couldn't get it. Yeah, that's wild.
It is wild. I think all the panic, there will still be new games being made. Although the games industry in general feels like it's in pure chaos and fire right now.
Yeah, totally.
At some point it will settle and we will find a norm. But I think one of the things to appreciate is that when the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, the Nintendo 64, and let's say even up to like the GameCube, PS2, Xbox generation of games, maybe a little bit later, the pace at which technology has moved through all those generations has been fast but very slow.
Yeah.
Compared to today,
where
it seems like every month you can go so much more power, so much more speed, so much faster, and do so much more that it's just sort of like it doesn't make a lot of sense to have physical media in the same way anymore, because that game that got released a year ago, some developers could maybe optimize it a little bit more with some new updates. Even the idea of a home console with which to play games, I wonder if it's just going to all go to streaming at some point. Granted, there are parts of the country in the world where that's not going to work.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I do think that just from the way that technology works today, you can't take the mindset that we have from the 90s, from the 80s, and before, and apply that to 2024 and beyond. It's two totally different worlds with how things are made and with what you get for your money. And ultimately, at the end of the day, if the point of this is to sit down and have an interesting experience and to have an entertaining experience and a moving experience with the aid of a video game, you know, whether that's through Apple Vision, through VR, through holding a controller traditional style, I'm really curious. And I'm aging up, you know, we're aging up to the point where, like, our taste in games, I don't need the craziest, gnarliest thing. That's not what I'm looking for anymore. Is those graphics to, wow, that's, you know, feels a certain way. I just want to have fun playing the game, which is why I can go to the Switch. And my daughters got so into Princess Peach, which we'll talk about in a minute.
Okay, yeah.
But, like, you know, they didn't care about how realistic everything looked. They were just having a blast.
Right.
Josh, let's talk about something here.
Okay.
There's an event coming up. This is a shocker to everybody. I got announced as a special guest at it. SoCal Gaming Expo.
Yeah.
Not Retro Gaming Expo, SoCal Gaming Expo.
Okay. What does that mean? Does that mean PlayStation 5s?
That means PlayStation 12.
Whoa!
Yeah.
The PlayStation 9 commercial, remember that?
I'm going to break some news on the Mort's Garage podcast right now. The Mort's at it. There's a PS6 in development.
Oh, snap.
It's in development. It's going to happen. There's going to be another generation of PlayStation consoles. I'm pretty sure.
I think you just jinxed it, and then we're done. They're like, PlayStation 5 Pro, that's it.
Exiting the console space. Okay, but I'm not...
SoCal Gaming Expo.
This is a new team that's running it. It's at a new location.
New place, yeah.
Everything about this is as fresh and clean.
Yeah, man.
There's also something really exciting.
There is.
Josh's band is playing at SoCal Gaming Expo.
That's right, we are.
Tell us about your band.
Yeah, so I play in a mid-2000s cover band called Finding Emo.
That's it.
We play just a bunch of songs for, if you're 35, what you listened to in high school. And essentially, when people are like, what are you talking about? I said, like, I play in, like, a classic rock band. And people got really mad because they're like, what, you playing Zeppelin? And I'm like, no, I'm, like, in the 90s if I was playing Zeppelin. That's what I'm doing now. Because you seem to have forgotten that time kept moving forward. And classic rock is now My Chemical Romance and Jimmy Eat World. And so we've been.
I remember when classic rock was like Motley Crue.
Yeah,
and I was like,
well,
what?
But then you would have. I think you would have had guys at that time mad at you for saying that Motley Crue was classic rock because their '80s hair, you know, whatever.
My boss at the time.
Classic rock is a stupid term, but classic rock now is also. I think it's just that music forever.
Yes.
Really, but the reality is we're playing nostalgic music.
You are.
Yeah.
Which makes sense at a con or an expo that is dedicated to nostalgic experiences.
We are playing literally songs that are in games, whether you want to get it through Crazy Taxi or Tony Hawk or even Rock Band.
Let's in fact comment your requests in case there's something that you want, but keep some of this a mystery. I know some of the songs they're playing.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited to see your set in this context.
Yes.
A lot of times, so here's the thing. They always get these really cool bands to play at expos. You know, Super Madness is one, and others where they play like metal covers of Mega Man and Zelda, and that's cool. There's visuals.
The Proto Men, the Megas,
all that stuff. But this is so different than that.
Yeah,
this is a party.
Yes,
we are going to be singing and goofing around and having a good time to your guys' music, and so you have to be there to watch this go down because this is not going to be like watching you guys do crazy guitar solos, although that may happen.
Maybe a little bit.
Legit, Josh is a great guitar player. But it's going to be about singing along and like reliving those times in a way that's very different. And I'm very excited about it. And I can't wait to see you guys play. So
this is really, I've been just dying to talk about this because of the process of being in this band. It's been a long time since I've been in a band. It's a long time, very long time since I'd played music. So I'm getting back into it. I went from like, you know, the last guitar I had bought was in 2010, right? In the last year, I bought 2 already.
And I've been at 7-string, I presume.
No,
you got to do some corn.
I have a reason. That's our next band will be new metal.
Yeah.
But it's also.
Do you know that new metal is like cool?
I know.
Which is so weird. In our era, new metal was not cool.
Unless it was Deftones. and then it was
Deftones doesn't count.
They don't.
They don't.
But they were around the same time.
But Limp Bizkit was like, what are you listening to?
Feel These Dreams, for Korn,
Let's move it
Papa
on.
Roach.
No thanks. But
no,
now
it's cool
the
now.
rage.
Yeah, we can totally play it. So this is, I played in bands for a long time when I was young and going up, and then I took a break when my wife was in your band, because you can't have two people in a relationship can't both be in separate bands.
You can't.
It doesn't work. I was too busy setting up keyboards. So,
but we appreciated that, Josh.
Right, sure, and I loved doing it. It was a nice break. I'm happy to be playing again. I love performing, but it's very different to play in a cover band.
Yes.
And it's radically different in ways that I didn't expect. You know this from when you're in an original band. There is a lot of there's a lot of selling, because you're oftentimes playing for people maybe have never heard you before.
Nope.
So you are like, hey, we need to go up and we need to convince these people that we're good. We need to convince these people that what we have is valuable. But there's also an artistic statement that you will want. I know even when talking to you, it's like, this is what I want to convey. You wrote this song about this, and I would like people to get the idea of it from our performance, not just from the words.
That's it.
And then sometimes you can be in bands that had like maybe some sort of, political purpose or like a religious purpose. So there's all these things that are swimming around when you're
the Machine.
When you're playing in a band. There's all these things that like that swim around. When you're playing in a cover band, all of that is gone, and you have a single goal,
which is
entertain.
Entertain.
We only care about people having a good time. When we go up there, we don't care if nothing matters, and it's unbelievably freeing from a performance standpoint.
Yeah.
It is all the fun of just playing.
Yes.
We inherently are not the band of the song that we're playing. So we don't have to be exactly like them. But we also, I know for a fact that hearing live music is a unique experience versus listening to it on a record. And sometimes you may have a favorite song and you can't go see the band that you love so much because it's expensive or it's hard or they don't play anymore.
Or Paramore is opening for Taylor Swift.
Right. Now you can't get the tickets. Sorry. Well, we will play a Paramore song, and you can be like, hey, I love this song. It's one of my favorite songs.
Yes.
And I'm going to have the live experience right now of having it. We see it on the faces of people who are like, this is my favorite song. I want to hear this. It's so much fun. It's just such a blast.
Great.
It's so great to play within like 2 notes.
Yeah.
And to no more selling.
No.
Because I'm like, I'm selling you the thing you love already.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
That's great.
Very exciting. We will have a blast. And at a convention, people who are there to be like, we just want to have a good time, that's all we're interested in.
That's all I love.
So that's what we sell.
I'm excited to see it. And then also, you mentioned your wife in the band that I used to be in, which is the Devious Means.
That's correct.
We share band members.
We do,
Josh.
Yes.
We had a couple bass players.
A few bass players.
We had this new bass player show up, Dale, and he joined the band. We were getting going, and then we broke up. And so now he carries the torch with you. Our old guitar player Andy plays with you.
Yep.
Not our drummer, but that's a lot of crossover.
There is a lot of crossover.
Interesting.
Yeah, that is an interesting thing.
But let's talk about. If you're excited to see Finding Emo, comment below. What do you? If you're listening to this,
what would you expect to hear at a
No.
2005?
I don't care what you expect to hear.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to know.
Tell us what you want to hear, people. What do you want to hear?
Okay. Yeah.
Let's make this a thing.
Okay.
All right, Josh. I'm going to be hosting a barbecue.
I love barbecues.
We're celebrating SoCal Gaming Expo coming to Pasadena, and all of these people are going to be a part of it. But I want to know which game characters should I or should I not invite to this barbecue.
Okay.
Are you ready for this?
I am.
So we're going to go through these different characters, and we want to know who would be allowed to show up to your party. Or where would you rank them?
Yeah, this is a tier list, and we have our tiers. And so...
Yeah, normally you go... F through E.
You go to S.
We don't do that. No. This is a barbecue.
This is placement in the barbecue, and honestly, it is. Do you even get to come to it at all?
So let's start at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got invited to a fake barbecue in another state.
So that's somebody we specifically so much don't want to come to it that we set up a fake one somewhere else that they then go to the same day.
Okay.
So they can't physically come.
Not invited.
Not invited.
They're just
That's
not
just
gonna
straight
hang
up like we just didn't want you.
Okay. Invited, but we'll be sat next to someone we don't like.
So that's like you invite. That's somebody that's annoying, but you specifically want them to annoy someone that you like less.
Okay.
Or like you dislike more, I guess.
Okay. This person's invited, but you don't really plan on making time for them.
Nope.
Not gonna speak to them.
Nope. They're just there.
Invited.
Hey, you get to come.
We're glad you're here.
Yeah.
You get to sit next to us.
Now that's your VIP.
That's your VIP.
And here's what my thought: we each get 2.
Okay.
Because you can't sit next to more than 2 people.
You can't. Now the question is, what are we serving at this barbecue? Is this steaks? Is this burgers? Is this? Well,
I mean, this is your barbecue, but
Well, I'm gonna say burgers and dogs.
That's to me. That's
Go
it's not a
classic.
barbecue if it's not.
Bag of chips.
Do you
Burgers,
you
dogs,
wouldn't
some
also do
beverages.
some steaks and chicken?
It depends.
Okay.
Yeah, I might do chicken burgers.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, so
We're
burgers.
not doing steak. I can't afford steaks.
Okay,
The
chicken
channel is not
burgers,
big enough for that yet.
burgers, hot dogs. We'll get there.
Okay.
50,000 more subscribers.
Yeah.
We'll have steaks.
That's it.
Okay.
Okay. So let's start with our first person here, Josh.
This isn't in any particular order. You can mix up the order if you want. If you see somebody that calls out to you,
Yeah.
go for it.
Well, we're gonna do. I think let's do 12 total characters of these selected ones.
Okay, okay.
Because we don't have all day to go through this barbecue.
I mean, there's a couple people I might just say like, let's throw them where they're supposed to go right now.
All right. How about let's start with Star Fox.
Okay.
Okay. Josh, any thoughts on Fox McCloud coming to your barbecue?
I don't have a problem with Fox.
Yeah.
I'm a little worried about how does he eat?
Yes.
Does he eat like a dog?
Right.
That could be a problem.
Yeah.
I think my biggest concern with Fox McCloud
Yeah.
is, have you ever seen him without the posse of like idiots following him around?
Does he invite Slippy?
Exactly.
Wow.
Now, so like you could say like, hey Fox, it's a we're not doing +1s or whatever.
Yeah.
I think Slippy shows up no matter what.
He does. That's a good
So,
question.
really, to me, the question is
Because how do they find them when they're in battle?
correct.
Maybe
He
GPS
sho-
or something.
I mean, I think honestly, I think Fox couldn't get rid of him if he wanted to. Fox McCloud might say like, "Look, I wish Slippy didn't show up either."
Yeah.
But what is Slippy doing? Nothing.
But
So he's just following, like he's watching whatever. He's probably got like access to Fox's like phone, and he can see where he is, and then he'll show up.
He's got his paper calendar and his digital one.
Exactly.
I think. Yeah.
So my thought is, for me, it is you either invite him, but you're not going to talk to him, or you specifically invite him
Yeah.
and put him next to somebody you don't like because you're sure Slippy's going to annoy him.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna say this is a tough one for me. He shows real leadership skills.
Sure.
Qualities. His team usually takes his direction. He's got to get Falco under a little bit of control.
He does,
That's a
yeah.
problem. But he takes wise counsel from Peppy, which I appreciate. But that
But
indicates
Peppy's going to be there, and he's just going to be like giving you.
Peppy's gonna be that nice guy that you're like, hey bud, and then like a couple minutes in the conversation, you're like, oh my phone's ringing.
Yeah, I gotta
And
go- I gotta go.
Peppy won't follow.
Okay,
He'll be
okay, all right.
But I like that Fox is a guy that he's gonna be a guy that people enjoy talking to. He's got probably has good manners. He talks to other people in a very respectable way.
Okay.
I think at a barbecue, he's going to be a guy that's going to really hold it down. I don't know how entertaining and fun he's going to be, but he is going to be there.
Okay.
So now here's the next question, though. The concern that I really have about Fox is yours. It's one of hygiene.
Yeah. He's a dog.
Foxes are not known for eating with a fork and a knife, and
Yep.
does he just start slurping it up? And in that way, I don't know if his instincts take over.
If you drop the dog when you're cooking it, is he there immediately to just like grab it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's a real
I would invite him and not plan on talking to him is what I would do.
I'd want to hear about his adventures. I think I could.
You want to hear about that dinosaur planet? again.
I do. I think there's probably
crazy.
quadrants. It's a rare game.
You're
so there's
crazy.
probably
You're
parts of it
crazy.
that we haven't even explored yet.
Bath modads.
So let's put
How
him.
many bath modads?
I'm
going to
invite him, but I don't want him to sit at my table. But
So you're saying he's invited?
He's invited. Well, he's in between. Can we put him between both?
No. That's not how tier maker works.
What?
You're in a tier or you're not.
Okay. Well, how strongly do you feel about not speaking to him?
I'm not going to talk to him.
Okay, let's keep him there.
Okay. Yeah. He's there.
Right,
he got the invite. All right.
All right. You pick the next.
Okay, I'll pick the next one, and I think that I am going to go with. I think this is it. I think we'll just do an easy one. Mr. Kirby.
No, good choice.
He does not get invited.
You just went right to it.
You got to have food for everyone else.
Fair.
He's going to come in,
What a great
big
point.
mouth, sucks it all in. You don't have a barbecue anymore.
What if
you don't even have the tables?
He eats the table.
You get the little you got that little vinyl like tablecloth that you have it on. Everything's gone.
Yeah.
So I just think straight up, Kirby, you don't invite him.
But Kirby's such a sweetheart.
He's a sweet kid.
You
You go to his house
Yeah.
because he presumably has some sort of system
Yeah.
for how he eats.
I do.
You go to his house. You don't invite him to your.
I do think there's an entertainment possibility here that we're just really missing out.
He's gonna
Hold on,
eat your
hold on.
grandma and then press down
But-
and become like your grandma.
But so think of
Grandma version. But
think
then
of-
where's your grandma go? She turns into a star, gets shot at a.
the entertainment possibilities. You're not just thinking of the barbecue. You're thinking of the day after the barbecue. We're all going to be saying, "Remember when Kirby did that incredible impression of Grandma?" And we're never going to forget that.
That's because he just became your grandma. Look, I think you invite Kirby, you don't have a barbecue anymore. So I think it's you don't invite him.
You know, at the end of the day, when you put it that way, Josh,
like-
I really am just like, you're right.
Yeah, your barbecue is over the second
done.
he gets there.
I got to put him in the don't invite.
Yep, you don't invite him.
What a tough one.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go with the next one.
Okay.
I'm going to say. Do we have? Oh, is it Marcus Phoenix?
Yeah, that is Marcus Phoenix.
Let's talk about Marcus Phoenix.
Okay. Come on.
What an affectionate soul he is.
Really?
He really cares about his team, his squad.
Okay.
He's the guy that you see hugging people when he's out there on the football field or the battlefield. I think he's somebody who, if he's at the barbecue, he's probably going to look like one of those guys that you're like, you don't talk to that guy. He's pretty intimidating.
Yeah.
However you approach him, he's probably just going to be the nicest guy you've ever met in your life.
Yeah.
And so much of his anger and trauma is around
I
the
think he
locust
should
forest.
be at the barbecue.
Well,
no matter what.
I do have a problem though.
What's that?
A huge problem.
What's that?
Well, I cut you off. That was rude of me. That was not a Marcus Phoenix thing.
Okay.
Keep going with where you're going with
I just think that he should be there. I don't know if he necessarily needs to be high on the list.
Yeah.
I think he probably should be there. But
Yeah.
what's your problem? What's your problem with Marcus?
Have you seen how big that man is?
Yeah, he is very big.
How many of my burgers is that guy going to eat?
He's going to eat a lot. He's also going to you lose a seat next to his seat
Fair.
because he's got multiple seats.
It's just a lot of protein.
Yeah.
And I'm only one man.
And you don't okay, if you were serving steaks,
Yeah.
the chainsaw gun could come in handy.
Very handy.
But you don't need that.
and think of
Everything you're serving is already cut up. It's just a waste at that point.
think of the service he provides too. He has got that laser gun, I think, attachment
Yeah,
thing.
the Hammer of Dawn.
Yeah. Imagine if you
Right? Is that right?
Imagine if your steaks
I played
Imagine if your
Gears
burgers-
1.
Imagine,
That's it.
Imagine if your burger's a little undercooked. He just zaps that thing up with his gun. He doesn't have to take it to the grill.
Does
That's a
the
very
invisible
convenient-
robot come with him? Jack? The door opening one?
I've played through Gears 5 from front to back. I don't remember the robot's name.
Well, but Gears
love
5
the
is
robot.
not Marcus Phoenix Gears.
Whatever it is.
That's like what? His daughter? His son?
I think it's his. It's a relative of his.
Is Gears of War ever coming back? Like I feel like that series people talk about but is dead.
They kind of ran it into the ground.
Yeah.
It feels like.
But
we're talking about Marcus.
we're
Phoenix
talking
on
about Marcus Gears 1 through 3 Marcus Phoenix.
I'm gonna say. Gosh, I'm gonna say I can't invite him. I can't afford it. He's a Kirby situation for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
You just think he shows up and he's like, "Can I get another burger?" And you're like, "Again?"
Dude, yeah. Again, you will not have food for your guests.
He could go to In-N-Out and get a triple, and they'd be and he'd be like, well, that was like the equivalent of one French fry.
Yeah, he
for
doesn't
you
even
and
have
me.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, so I can't invite. What about you?
Okay, I would say yeah. He
It's-
doesn't get invited.
All right, let's go.
All right, I'm gonna say Mr. Duke Nukem. So Duke Nukem to me
Yeah.
is like is like your very old racist uncle. He's from another time. He's from another era, and it's going to be bad. But I also think it's very funny, especially if you
Josh,
give some
there's
hoity.
nothing funny about racism.
There's some hoity-toity. Yeah, but when it's like if you're watching someone else sort of faceplant with it, there is some comedy there. I would personally put Duke Nukem in the section where like all of the people I don't like are like coworkers and other things where I'm like, I invited you guys, but I actually kind of want you to suffer a little bit. Yeah. So I would invite him and put him there specifically. Be like, you're gonna have you guys are gonna have a time.
You know, his heart's in the right place. He's always trying to stop the aliens.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
He's trying to stop the aliens from taking over the earth.
Only wants the babes. He's the worst person, but he's so bad in a so predictable way that it's kind of nice.
Well, I'm a gracious host. Mm-hmm. I don't want him at my barbecue because I feel like you'd have to have a certain level of decorum. You know,
yeah.
I expect
he doesn't have that.
I don't know if he has that. But if you want him to be there because you need some cheap shot jokes, then let's put him in invited section we don't like.
Yes, well, he won't. You won't see him. Trust me. So.
Oh, this is good. All right, let's go with Navi. From Ocarina of Time.
Okay.
What a delightful little spirit that Navi is. Just shows up at any point. I think you're going to need to clean up the place. You're going to always have a little helper telling you exactly what you need to do, exactly where you need to go.
I disagree. You don't get anything other than hey and listen.
Yeah.
That's all you will get.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Which is the downside of Navi. So
the only side of Navi.
She's not going to eat a lot of your food.
She's not. No. She might not eat anything.
I would guess that Navi's in fact a vegetarian.
I don't even know if Navi is a thing that eats.
I think it is.
Oh, okay.
You have to have fuel.
Okay.
Every being needs some kind of fuel.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but at the same time, I do think that if Navi's at my barbecue and she keeps on saying, "Hey, listen," I'm putting her right next to Duke Nukem at that table.
I was thinking the same thing but I was also thinking that Navi could be invited to the barbecue in Missouri.
Man, wow, you really don't like it.
I know. I think this is actually much funnier.
Yeah.
Is that you put Navi specifically in the area that you're like, boy, you really made me angry last week with whatever.
Yeah.
You should meet this delightful fairy.
All right.
Navi is a social bomb that you drop on people, right?
Could you imagine a conversation's going and she has a point and then every sentence starts with, "Hey, listen."
Yes. Right.
But you know, I mean, I do think that at the end of the barbecue, a lot of people are
aliens wrecked my ride. Hey, listen, aliens wrecked my ride. That kind of thing.
But I think
come get some.
You have a barbecue, you get to the end of it, and you're gonna be like, "I need to clean up." You know who's gonna clean up? Navi. You need a Navi at a party.
Does Navi? You seem to think Navi does things. I don't think Navi does anything.
Yeah, even
doesn't have hands.
I think you're mischaracterizing this. I don't think it's just that she does things from like a mystical perspective. I think emotionally, I might like that support at some point, and never discount and encourage her, Josh.
Okay. All right.
Who do you got?
I'll tell you who I think that you invite to another barbecue in a fake barbecue in another state.
Who's that?
Is the dude from Skyrim.
Yeah.
Because the only thing that guy knows how to do is the first dragon shout you get, which if you've ever played that game is Fusro Da, and the only thing Fusro Da does is blow everything off a table.
Forget it.
Every single time in Skyrim you use it, just blows the stuff off the table.
Don't want him.
So just have him do that in Missouri.
Yeah.
That's where our fake barbecue is going to happen. Missouri.
Yeah, you have a similar protein issue as you do Marcus Phoenix because he does have quite muscular.
He can just kind of keep eating. Well, it depends on what Skyrim guy we get, right?
Yeah.
There's all kinds of different ones, but the Fusro Da is the same every single time.
Yeah.
Which is just to knock all the plates and everything off of it. Too many cheese wheels, too.
Right, next time, I'm going to go with Professor Layton.
Okay. That's a good one.
He gets a strong invite from me.
Does he?
He does. He's a probably very conversational.
You can talk about a lot of things.
He could talk, very interesting experiences in his life, very cultured, very well mannered.
Seen a lot of things, been to a lot of places,
and
knows a lot of stuff.
What if you lose something? He's going to find it.
Well, are you going to be okay, though?
Yeah.
With when you're talking to them, he is constantly going, oh, that's interesting. Tap, tap, tap. Looking for those coins. Everything. He's looking for the coin.
Yeah.
Everything you have, he's going to tap 3 times to see if a coin pops
He
up.
might get a little touchy. That's true.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what though?
I wouldn't have him sit next to me. That's what I would say.
Yeah, that's why I'm inviting him though, because
He's gonna come. He gets a regular invite. He gets a handshake, a hello,
So you're gonna have
and you're gonna go up and converse with him for a little
You're
bit.
going to have people who are going to bring a lot of fun to the party. He might be the guy that just evens it out a little bit to where he doesn't take away the fun. He just balances it a little bit.
Right.
But I got to tell you, Josh, I can't judge somebody to be perfect. I got to say, it's okay to have some flaws, which is why I'm inviting you, Professor Layton.
He gets in.
You get in.
Okay.
And you're a welcome part of the party.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
All right. Well, I got to talk about Ryo from Shenmue.
What a great choice.
Yeah.
Tough one, though.
Yeah, really tough because he's only going to talk about forklifts and sailors the whole time.
Yeah.
I don't need to talk about that.
And what if his flat voice affect? I mean,
Yes.
There's that, too.
Hey,
What's that going to be like in a conversation?
Do you know anything where sailors might hang out?
Yeah.
You know? Do you know who killed my dad? Actually, he knows who killed his dad. Do you know where the man who killed my dad went?
That he's got to figure out.
Lon D with that mirror?
Yep.
I only played Shenmue 1. I don't know if any of those questions were answered.
I played an hour of Shenmue 2.
Okay.
And I used to own the collector's edition of Shenmue 3, and I never played it.
Okay.
I sold it.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
I would put him right next to Fox. I would say, like,
Yep.
hey, I'm not going to talk to you, but I'm
glad you're here.
I'm fine with you being here.
You know why, Josh? He has a good heart.
He does have a
His
good
heart's
heart.
in the right
Yeah, he
place.
does have a good heart.
And he's got.
If a scrap broke out, he's a pretty good fighter too.
He's going to help us solve
Yeah.
some problems for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. Okay, this is good.
What do you think?
All right, next I'm going to go with Next I'm going to go with Samus.
Samus,
Yeah.
okay.
Now here's someone that you got to have at your party.
Okay.
For me.
Really?
I think
This is not Zero Suit Samus either. This is like the full getup, coming with the gun arm and everything.
you know, Samus, you show up to my party, you're sitting next to me and my friends.
Wow,
at the table.
really?
I think, you know, she's not too, you know, she's not too like needy or whiny. She figures things out really well.
Totally. You're not getting. In fact, you could have an opposite problem with Samus of like, boy, it'd be great to talk a little bit more, Samus, and
Right.
But when you want someone to just be there with you, like maybe you don't want to talk a lot. I think Samus is great for that.
Yeah, I think Samus might be that person who holds not only the conversation well, she might overtalk a little bit, I guess, if that's what you're saying?
No, I'm saying she doesn't say anything.
Yes, okay.
She does not talk.
Which was going to be the reverse argument I was going to make. So now that I understand you correctly,
Yeah.
I was gonna say, sometimes you need a friend who can just hold the silence.
Correct. Yes.
That's Samus.
She's not going to talk your ear off, for sure.
And I'm not, you know, I'll feed her a second burger if she gets hungry for a second, too.
Okay,
I mean, you know,
yeah.
Alien planets, she
does
travels a lot. Yeah, but
she burns calories.
She does burn calories, but you know what? And with that big suit, I would just love to see her press a button and just have it form, you know, and everything. What a cool party!
It's gonna be
trick.
really interesting, like if she has to like blend the burger up and then drink it through a straw, because there's no mouth hole.
That's a fair point, but she could probably take.
But that's
off
fine. I don't
the
care
mask.
if that's how you like to eat your burger.
I won't judge that.
I don't care.
Yeah, she's sitting.
So
at my table.
she's sitting next to you, huh?
Bring it up.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
And also, she's not the kind of person who I would, you know, feel like is, you know, like my wife would love talking to her as well. You know what I mean? Like they would get along really.
Yeah, because your wife's gonna be like, your job is so interesting. Like,
Yeah.
can you tell me some things about it? And I think she'll tell you a little
They'll
bit.
get along.
But
That's good.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
okay. All right.
Okay. Let's see. I don't. Gosh, I'm struggling to look at who is going to sit next to me.
So far we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. We've got 3 more we got to select here for our barbecue, Josh.
3 more, huh? Well, let's talk about.
How about
go for it.
We'll pick for each other.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. How about Pikachu?
Pikachu.
Yeah, Pikachu.
I feel like Pikachu. He. Pikachu is an animal, so you got a little bit of animal, but then Pikachu's small, so even if Pikachu's gonna pick out, it's not gonna be a big deal.
Nope.
Pikachu is cute, very cute, kind of lovable.
How many people show up to a party and you got that lovable.
I feel like Pikachu's the life of the party.
Possibly.
I think Pikachu goes here.
I strongly agree with that, Josh.
I think you invite Pikachu. You want to talk to Pikachu a little bit. You're not going to get a lot of words out of him, but you definitely are going to get Pikachu out of him.
That's right. Even if he did have a lot of words, it'd be the same ones.
It would be the same one over and over again. But Pikachu's a staple. Like, Pikachu gets to come.
How many people have thought to themselves, and even like, just think of how many people who in their childhood here in this list grew up with Pikachu.
Yep.
And then Pikachu shows up, they're going to be like, they're going to freak out. They're going to be like, we have a celebrity here. So, I'm a fan.
What about this guy?
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, I know.
Mario.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I'm just worried because every time Mario shows up somewhere, Bowser does. It's just an inevitability. So, you know, I don't want to have to deal with that at my barbecue.
Does he, or is that only if Mario and Peach show up somewhere?
Well, we didn't have Peach on this list.
Don't.
It is lacking in female presence, actually. I did want to comment on that.
There wasn't a lot in the thing that I pulled all these from.
Which is not a statement on gaming at all.
No, it was from whoever made the tier maker list of video game characters.
Well, there's also Aloy. There's, you know,
there's
a lot.
They weren't in there.
Well,
I don't know what to tell you.
This is not the first barbecue list.
Okay.
All right, so as far as Mario is concerned, I like that he's got the fireball. That's a good party trick. I do think that ultimately he's there for a good time.
Okay.
I do think that he's a bit of an icon. I can't take that from him. But I don't really want to talk to him very much.
No.
And so I'm going to invite him, but I'm not going to talk to him.
Okay, so he hangs out with Fox.
Yeah, but that's for me. What about for you?
For me, I'm going to go with Sans here.
No, sir. Sir, what's your opinion on Mario?
Oh, that's fine. I don't. Yeah, I'm fine with him being there.
All right.
I agree with you. I don't have any more thoughts on Mario. I mean, I would be fine with Mario being not invited.
Now, I got to tell you something before you pick this next character.
Yeah.
I've played a couple of hours of Undertale, but I haven't played to the end, and I understand that the ending is pretty interesting.
It is very interesting.
So,
Sans
whatever you're about to say,
Sans is the best character.
Okay.
He's the coolest guy. He's the one you want on your side. Yeah. He also has like the best music.
Okay.
So when he shows up, you hear Megalovania from Undertale start playing, and you get hyped. So he is sitting next to me the whole time.
Okay. Are you concerned at all that because he's a skeleton, he eats that burger, it's going to go right through him?
No, I think that he is wearing like a jacket, so it'll just stay in there. It's fine. It's fine.
He's probably figured that out at this point.
I think so. And Sans might honestly just be like, I don't need to eat. Don't worry about it. Like save me a burger. I'm just gonna hang out. And you just hear and you're like, yes, dude, this is great.
All right.
I'm rolling. So
okay, we got 12. That's how many we're gonna do. But you know what, Josh? I'm gonna do a lucky 13 on this one. I think we need to finish it here. How do we feel about Little Mac? I'm gonna say Little Mac. Yeah.
Little Mac. Well, I mean, he's fine, right? He doesn't talk a lot.
Yeah.
He does, and I'm thinking like
he hasn't knocked out Mike Tyson before. He did, so he could give Jake Paul some lessons.
He could.
That could be helpful for him.
Is he just going does Little Mac have fun? Because all we see of him in his training.
What a great question. He is always working hard.
He's always running.
Yeah.
He's always being chased by the guy on the bike.
I'll tell you, though, even when he gets knocked in the face and he's, bleeding and everything in the middle of rounds, you know what he's doing every time?
He gets up. His resolve is
incredible.
Yeah, it's unmatched.
But he's always smiling, even when his nose is
bleeding. He is always
bleeding.
smiling.
You got to think about that. Let's say he's not finding anyone to connect with at this party. You know what he's doing? He's still okay. You don't have to worry about him.
Yeah.
I think that's someone who's self-sufficient at a party.
Yes, I agree. I think he is a good mark on the party. I think he adds. What I don't think though is, have you ever talked to a boxer? Spoken to one?
Many times, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It's terrible.
No.
It's just the worst experience.
That might be your neighborhood.
Because they've been hit in the head too many times. They don't know what they're basically suffering from CTE constantly. I would say hey, I'm not planning on talking to you.
Wow.
You can come here, but I'm not going to talk to you about. I don't want to hear about when you punched that guy.
Yeah, you do have a real issue here, which...
You seen Rocky?
I've seen Rocky.
Imagine just Rocky is there the whole time, but like older Rocky.
Yeah. Well, but Little Mac's still little. He's not older yet.
That's a clever nickname, because he'll be called Little Mac even when he's very,
90.
very old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he makes it that far because of all the head
You
punches.
can still be old and little.
You can. Yeah. Well, that's
You can't
in fact,
be old
you get
and
littler the
be
older
young
you
Mac.
get.
That is true.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
What a real conundrum you have. Well, I'm going to invite him.
Okay, you can invite him.
You don't have to speak to him.
I think he could be invited. I would be fine with him being invited.
He's not going to bring the party down.
No, I don't think so.
I think that winning smile is going to just keep people in a good mood. So let's look at who's at our
But
party.
can we just throw someone at Skyrim guy, Dragonborn?
Let's go.
Like who is like, no.
Don't even show up.
Yeah, don't bother. Or please come to our Missouri barbecue. Who would you say out of this list is most Missouri barbecue?
I got mine.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. Who do you got?
I don't know if I had something that harsh, but I think that I think I got mine too. Yeah.
Okay, so do you want to go first? Or me?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good one.
It's nothing but conspiracy theory. I'm specifically thinking this is Ezio Auditore because it's the only the only one that anyone would know. It's nothing but conspiracy theories.
Nothing.
Everything you're going to hear is like, is the ice cream guy over there a Templar? Did you know the Pope's a Templar? Did you know the president's a Templar? Like, dude, I don't care. Like, I've been on the internet long enough. I do not want to hear about any of this stuff. Not at my barbecue.
I'm over this guy.
Yes, right.
You know who I was going to say was actually Ryu.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
You know why?
Why?
He is, just think of the mood killer that he would be.
He is a bummer not wearing shoes, for sure.
He is just so serious all the time. Yeah. I mean, you could crack a joke at him and he'd look at you like... Mm-hmm.
He has a little bit of a Little Mac problem in, like, have you ever seen him have fun? And the answer is no. He's only training. But the difference is Little Mac smiles.
You know, well, I was going to say, Little Mac looks like training is fun.
Correct.
Ryu looks like training is life.
Correct.
And if you can't have a little fun in your life, you can't come to my barbecue.
Not at the barbecue, for sure.
Because you're gonna bring it down for everyone else. Like, Pikachu's going to crack a joke and he's just going to...
I'd invite Ken to the barbecue in a heartbeat.
Ken is sitting right next to me.
But Ryu, no.
Not even...
Yeah. And then when Ken is like, he's like... Hey, where's Ryu? He can make it for whatever reason. And meanwhile, he's in Missouri, showing up to an empty park.
Imagine these three guys getting together too.
Right.
You know, what's that conversation going to be like?
I legitimately do not care.
Yeah.
I don't even want to know. That's how much.
The transcript of that conversation is 3 views for its lifetime video on YouTube. That's what that is. All right.
It's a Twitch stream with no viewers.
Okay. So let's look at our barbecue. We've got Duke Nukem and Navi sitting at the table. I just want
specifically at people we don't like.
Invited but not spoken to. All good guys.
They're fine.
We're just
not going to talk
kind
to
of
them.
irritating sometimes. Invited. These are good people. You know, they're kind of middle, holding it down. Pikachu's maybe standing out the most in that one for me. Yep. But then you got
Samus
these
and
two.
Sans.
I mean, I might talk to Samus and Sans the whole time.
The whole time. That's the whole
point. And then be like, oh my gosh.
Wow. Hey guys, it was great.
3 hours.
Yeah, it was great to see all the rest of you. Yeah. These guys do not get invites.
No, sorry.
Just we'd leave it off.
Let's be clear. It's not because of them. It's because of the way that they might ruin the party for everyone else with their habits.
I mean, it's not because of them, but it is because of who they are.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
In a way.
We're not judging you, but everything about you makes you not a good fit.
The way that it is. Yeah.
All right.
And the rest, someday, maybe,
We're going to do another one of these
indeterminate. Indeterminate.
And we're excited to do that.
Close it and close it.
All right, Josh. For our final segment today, we've talked about barbecues. We've talked about physical versus... We have come back with fury and gusto, but now it's time for another segment of Neat or Nah.
Neat or nah.
This is the segment, dear viewers / listener, where we will go through pickups and you will tell me if it's neat or not.
Okay.
Now, this is the Game On Expo pickups, and I bought out a lot of stuff. I had 2 purposes.
Would you say that this is the most you bought at a convention?
Maybe.
It's up there.
It might be. I'm going to highlight a couple of things.
I saw. I didn't see very many of what the things are, but the quantity is high.
The quantity is
lot
very
of
high.
things.
A lot of things. So what I'm going to do is we're going to highlight. Here's how we're going to do this. I'm going to show you the things that I got, and then whether or not I'm keeping it or reselling it, because as viewers may or may not know, I am trying to build up funds towards the Clay Fighter Sculptor's Cut Manual. Here's the problem. I might just be paying for the things I want to keep at this expo because I bought some cool things. Okay.
So, do you want me to need or not only the things you're keeping, or whatever, everything?
Let's improvise.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So let's just start with this was a gift from Cultured Gamer, whom I bought something from. This is the Lego Kaima Laval's Journey. He could not sell it at all. I will jokingly say to people sometimes, what can I have for free? And people give me things for free. This is one. It is my duty to give this away at an event and pass it forward.
So it's just going to keep moving on. There is a minifig inside of it.
And for that reason, I think it's neat.
That is, so...
If it was just the game itself, I'd say nah.
Can it was a long time ago that I was very into Legos. But when I was into Legos, there was Castle, and there was Town, and there was Pirate.
Yeah.
What is this?
Chima is some kind of a...
This is not Ninjago.
It's like Ninjago in that I think it's Lego's own thing that they made up of characters.
But isn't Ninjago that too?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh.
I like Ninjago is a Lego brand. I think Chima is a Lego brand.
Yeah,
as well.
but what
it's
is...
not like Lego Harry Potter.
Ninjago is ninjas. I get that from the name. What is Chima?
It looks
Lion
like
Man?
it's some kind of bear lion creature.
Lion Man. Okay, you don't know very much about this, do you?
I have no idea, which is why it was given to me for free.
It's
gonna be given away.
I don't care.
If I gave this to you for free, you wouldn't want to just play
I would
this
not
right
take
away.
it. No, I wouldn't. I would literally not take it.
Ungrateful swine.
I would say, like, give that to somebody who cares about it. Don't.
All right, which I plan to do.
Not me.
But from the same table, I got this. Brand new factory sealed deluxe edition of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. He sold it to me as a kindness at his retail price.
Wow.
I didn't get overcharged.
So this is the is there a collector's edition above this?
There's one that has like a statue and a whole bunch of stuff too.
But then this is the next level.
This is there's
you
three
get
releases.
Your book, you get your mini CD. Oh, I bought the digital version of this.
Of course.
So I got the same things, but not real ones.
Yeah.
You get real ones of it.
Yeah.
I've been playing this game a ton.
And
I love it to death.
I love its predecessor.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It is everything that I wanted. It's also Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. This whole Final Fantasy VII Remake thing has sort of ruined games for me because I realize I just want them to do this with all the games I loved from my childhood.
Yeah.
I just want to replay. I don't want to learn about new characters anymore. I just want to play with the characters I already know. Yeah, I already know. This is very neat.
Yeah.
Super neat.
I'm going to say this is like one of my favorite pickups.
It's great. And it's a cool presentation.
It is so
the
cool.
thing is very cool.
Okay, I gotta be careful I don't like lose all this here on the stack. All right, let me go with this is a company that I just absolutely love, Collector Protector. I've worked with them a bunch in the past. They've sponsored the channel in the past. They've done $500 giveaways. What they do is they make these amazing cases for those of us that collect things. But what you're holding there is, let me show you the cases. This is new in their catalog. They made this Zelda Tears of the Kingdom Special Edition case. This thing is beautiful.
So it says it literally right here. Fits Zelda Tears of the Kingdom Special Edition.
So they made it specifically
just
for this.
This makes this thing look so cool.
Yes.
It makes this look like a museum piece.
That's what I'm saying. I think
this box is incredible.
So one of the things I made the argument about in my Finish the Hunt series is that we're no longer buying video games, we're buying collectibles.
Collectibles, yes,
and
that's right.
Obviously a collector's edition, collect is in the name.
Yeah.
However, I do think that this is one of those things that I just want to keep as preserved, as clean as possible, just because it's such a rad piece of such a great game. And so for this guy, what's unique about their stuff is there's actually protection in it from UV rays. There's magnets on top, so this like magnetizes shut.
That's
Go
so
to the
great.
link in my description below. They didn't sponsor this video, but I do have an affiliate code where you can get 10% off your order of cases right now. What's also cool is you can request on their app certain sizes, and a lot of people have been requesting these Lunar ones. So
That's what those are.
This is made for Lunar 2 Complete. That's something weird there. Okay.
Lunar 2.
However, I was like, do you have an Arc the Lad one? Because I also have the Arc the Lad set. And they said if you buy the same one, which
Because
is...
it's the same. The Lunar 2
the
Eternal Blue Complete
Lunar,
Edition.
Yeah, if you buy the Lunar 2 Complete Edition, the Arc the Lad one fits in there. It's not a perfect one-to-one, but it's close enough.
Close enough.
Yeah.
For a shelf,
For a shelf.
it's fine. And in fact, for the shelf, you really probably care more about the sides than the front and back, because it's not going to be moving around all that much.
Yeah, so...
But I will say that, like, this, because it's made for it, it's a perfect fit.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't even moving.
Yeah. Yeah. So I love these guys. I love their stuff. Neat or not?
These are as neat as they can be.
It's as neat as it can
I
be.
want Collector Protector to make... Well, do they make anything for Amiibos?
I think so. I could be wrong. Jeff, let me know in the comments. But if they
Collector Protector. Let's talk about Mobile Suit Gundam.
Yeah.
Because Gunpla...
they do make Funko Pop stuff too.
Let's not talk about Funko ever again, but let's talk about Gunpla.
Hey.
Because I would love things like this that for displaying Gunpla, and that would be amazing.
I love Funko Pop as much as you do. However, if Funko were to say, "Hey, we want to make a Josh and Mort Funko," I'd be like,
Right, I would let them make it.
"No, you can do
sure.
it. That's fine."
For sure.
All right.
I don't. I guess I would have to own that one. Oh no.
Here's a.
That's the monkey's paw right there.
Okay, I bought all of this stuff to flip.
This is
From-
this is
Let's see.
flip pile, flip pile,
This is flip pile.
flip pile.
Let's see.
Yeah, I'm gonna. It's a neat or not.
You know what?
We're gonna revise it to where it's like,
Okay, so
should you
this is-
flip or not?
Should I flip or keep? All right.
Flip or keep.
So, but I plan to flip all these to
Okay.
get. So, this is a seller that I've bought from many times before. Actually, this is all from his table. Shut your face, Josh. This is all from his table. These were 3 for $10.
Okay.
On these. Now, before people who are watching freak out, this is the case for Outrun Coast to Coast, not the game. The game complete unboxing is like a $90, $100-ish game.
Really?
Yeah, but they have the case
Why?
in the 3 for $10 pile. I don't know.
It's just a hard to find game.
But the games that I got to flip,
Don't you feel like you could find the disc pretty easy and the
No.
no?
it's a really hard. It's
Really?
pretty rare, yeah. So
It's so weird that you have the case.
Each of these games alone is worth like $10 each. So
Okay.
this is I
This
spent
is a pretty
20.
good flip.
I'll probably get like 60 bucks
let me
for
look
it.
through. Nier is cool. Crazy Taxi 3, no. Red Dead Revolver, no. Bully, no. Fairy. These are all Nas, so good.
Yeah, I wanted to love this game and I could not love it.
No, yeah,
It's
it's
just so
too weird.
bleh.
It's not Automata, so
Yeah, it's not Automata.
It's
I keep
not
feeling like I have
Automata.
to play this to get to Automata.
I don't think you do.
Yeah.
They're so different.
How about this? Special Cybernetic Attack Team
No,
Limited Run.
That's not what it's called.
It's called Scat.
It's called Scat,
This
and it's
is-
got the most like 80s like dude on the front.
Because that's the original cover from the NES.
Right. I feel like
It's an NES game, and it comes in an NES Repro style box.
oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Natsume.
Not Sumen.
I think this is even though Scat is the dumbest name.
it is the dumbest.
I do think this is neat
It is cool.
because
isn't it?
I think the repro box is neat.
I
I
think
think this presentation is neat.
I'm so tempted to keep this, but at the same time, when I play it, it's just an NES game that I didn't grow up with, and for that
Correct.
reason, I'm like,
Like who cares?
So I'm
It's
okay
probably
with
not like a great. Oh, okay.
I'm okay with
there's a-
flipping it, but it is. If you did grow up
I
with
do-
it, this is a great way to own it.
Yes, I think that this is what I like most about this. I have no affinity for the game, but I think the presentation is very good.
So it's
this,
a neat for you.
This is neat.
Yeah.
Very neat.
All right.
Yeah,
So we're
very
gonna
neat.
flip that, but it is neat.
It is neat.
All right, Duke Nukem Advance, one of the few first-person shooters on the Game Boy Advance.
This is not like the old. It's not Duke. Oh, it is. You're right. I thought this was like side scroller Duke.
No, it is not. It's a first-person shooter.
Well, you know how I feel about Duke Nukem.
You're as
So
much a fan of him as I am.
nah.
Nah.
What is this?
Wii Sports.
this-
These just sell right away for me.
Do they really?
Oh yeah, every time.
Did I give you mine already?
Probably.
I think I did.
I sold it.
Okay.
All right.
All right, well, that's
Shadows of the Damned is getting a remake.
a remake,
Yeah.
yeah. So is this then fine to get rid of because you'll just get the remake?
I didn't like the game. I played a couple hours of it.
This
and
is
didn't do much for me.
Gabriel, like his name's like.
I also think like sometimes like.
That's right. This was Garcia Hotspur.
Yeah,
that's his name.
Yeah. So sometimes like
Suda
inappropriate
and
jokes are
Shinji.
funny, like it's South Park or whatever. But in this one, it's just too juvenile for me.
Just
so
dumb.
Rambo 3.
Just
no idea if that's good or not. That's going
Genesis.
straight to the flapper.
Okay, yeah.
flipper pile.
Nah. I don't like Rambo.
Do you know the Eternal Castle? Anything about this game?
The Eternal Castle. I've never heard of it.
Okay. All right.
Weird. What a weird looking game, though.
Cool, huh?
Oh, so this is an 87 a game from '87 that they just remastered.
Sure.
That's what it says on the back.
No idea.
Okay. Well, it seems not.
This one is an upgrade for me. I have In the Hunt, which is basically Metal Slug in
But as
submarines.
a submarine.
It's a great game. A very fun game.
Boy, that really looks like Metal Slug 2. You're right.
It's
like
great.
big subs that you're fighting.
My friend John gave me my old copy of it for my birthday years ago. However, unfortunately, it is missing some the manual and some other things. So that's an upgrade for me.
This is okay.
Yeah.
Also, this is that cool old style of PlayStation box that was huge.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Like this one.
This is called the Long Box.
Long box. Yeah.
Mortal Kombat 3. Zero interest in keeping this. That's flipping.
Yeah, I think so.
Flipping cool.
Why not? That's nah.
All right, you got to put these so
Oh, sorry.
people can see it, Josh.
Sorry.
Gosh, Josh.
I mean, when I say nah to things, I delete them from my memory banks.
Now, there was one thing in that pile that I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep this or not, which is
But it's something that you would want to keep.
Metal Storm, complete in box. This is like a $450 game.
Oh my gosh.
So you'll see it I'm editing the Game on Expo video right now. You'll see it show up in that. This is a great game. This is like a great NES game that became very valuable.
That's such a great looking mech.
Yes.
Like that
And you
art
would
style
know
mech.
your
I'm
Gundam.
into mech.
Yeah.
And I love the look of this mech.
It has a great mechanic in it where you can like go up and down on the screen where it flips and I'm explaining it poorly, but there's a bunch of cool things about it. But this is one of the more sought after NES games in general.
And you can't
very tempted to keep it.
Keep this because it is too valuable. Like you can make money off of this.
I would rather, because I didn't grow up with Metal Storm, I think if it was a pristine mint condition copy,
you would keep
it does have some wear to the box. It's not perfect.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to play the physical copy here a little bit and just kind of enjoy that. But it's not one that I'm like, oh, like I have to keep it. So I'm on the fence about it.
Such a good cover, though.
I know.
That's such a good cover.
Tough.
That is a good.
Something where I might like keep it.
Maybe you'll think about it for longer
I'll
than
keep
you
it
normally
for a little bit,
would.
and then if I decide to sell it, I'll sell it.
Yeah.
All right. Got Dragon Quest: Sentinels of the Starry Skies. I think for.
Hey, it's the last one I played.
Got it for $35. Goes for about $50. That's for the flip pile.
There you go. Yeah. That's a flip.
Neat or not?
That's neat. That's fine.
All right.
Akira Toriyama, rest in peace.
Okay. Let's go with Collector Protector. I made it very clear to them. I'm going to buy a bunch of things from you. And I'm not keeping all of it. I'm flipping some of this to get my manual. They didn't care. They just wanted the money. So here we go. Here is what I got to...
you bought these from Collector Protector?
For the purpose of reselling them later.
Okay.
So, let me make sure. Or no, maybe Darius. I think I got Darius. No, Darius was with this lot. Darius Twin.
Darius Twin?
Complete in box.
That's nice.
I got this for $40.
I think that's neat.
Yeah.
I think that's very neat.
That's in that pile. All right, now this stuff is all Collector Protector. Here we go. All right.
Okay.
Super Double Dragon.
Super Double Dragon.
Have you played this?
I don't know if I've played Super Double Dragon.
It's super fun.
Is it?
Because...
Is it better than Final Fight?
Because there's a more involved fighting mechanic in that game. And it's great.
That's all I need to know. That's cool.
Okay.
That's neat. That's very neat.
Let me push this back here a little bit.
Yeah, you don't have room.
I know. Gradius 3?
Gradius 3 is a great game.
Yeah, not for me though.
Yeah. I don't like the shoot 'em ups.
I don't like shmups too
much. I like a good shmup.
They're just okay.
I think that's neat. I also like Super Nintendo boxes quite a bit.
Speaking of shmups, Supernova.
Never heard of it. Taito.
Yeah, it's a shooter. You gotta go for that.
Is this a collector protector? This is just a...
This is from Collector Protector. That's one of their cases as well, yes.
This is. So this is kind of like the...
There should
hey,
be a little...
you don't want a full... Like, it's not a hard acrylic box. That, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. This is a really nice, just like, hey, I just want the card in this.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's neat. Well, I don't know if the game's neat, but the Collector Protector's neat.
I don't see this game too much out there. I was kind of surprised they had it. They had it at $25, and then they still negotiated down from there. So I was thankful for that. That's going to flip for the manual.
That is a classic game.
So I thought that I didn't have this complete in box. I bought this for myself. I do have it.
You have it.
So selling that one.
Okay.
But I love Jackal.
Oh, baby!
This one I'm very tempted to keep.
Yeah.
It's F-Zero. It's the original black box. Not the greatest hits. Oh, this is a tough one for me. Love the game.
Complete in box?
Complete in box. Yeah. In fact, I'm probably going to keep that one.
I think you should keep that.
I'm going to keep this one.
That's a good...
That stays.
Hey!
Monster Party, one of the best NES games that I can't get very far into. But I love...
Is this the one with a tempura shrimp on the front of it?
I think
when
so.
You start up?
It's just a super goofy,
it's very
weird game.
Yeah.
And it's,
Bandai!
I love that they made games like this.
Yeah, totally.
So.
That was the era.
That was the era. TNC Part 2.
TNC
Thrilla
Safari.
So I don't know much about this game because I only have so many fond memories of the first one.
LJN.
LJN. Lots of jaded nerds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but let's talk about...
I thought it stood for, look, Jan, no, we're not playing this game.
Look, Jason's nice.
Nice.
That's Friday the 13th, the next one. And then he kills him.
And then, it was like, he tricked
He
you.
plays on deception. In
Yeah,
that one.
exactly.
Okay. Kabuki Quantum Fighter. Have you played this?
I have not played Kabuki Quantum Fighter.
Legit, I'm not joking. This is on one of my Garbage or Gold episodes with John Adams. One of the most fun NES.
Really?
It's a lot like Batman. It's a great game.
Kabuki Quantum Fighter.
You know who produced this one or distributed it? Or whoever?
How?
Hal.
Yeah.
You know who worked for Hal originally?
Iwata.
So I don't know if
Hal made Earthbound.
Hal made a lot of great games.
Yeah.
Resident Evil Director's Cut.
Interesting. Whoa, what is that?
The Resident Evil 2 demo.
Did that come with? No, when did that get included? That wasn't ever included.
Oh,
it's
wow.
just included, right?
So check this out. So I don't know if they realize this. I didn't realize this at the show. So there's Resident Evil Director's Cut.
Yeah.
There's Resident Evil 2 demo, and here's another Resident Evil 2 demo, and they taped it together.
So
I got
Resident
two demos.
Evil demos.
I apologize, Collector Protector.
Includes interactive demo for Resident Evil 2, so that was actually part of this. But here's the thing. Resident Evil then only had one disc.
Yes.
Because this only has one disc.
Yes. So they gave you the cool Director's Cut double pack.
So you got two demos.
With the demos.
You got two demos.
Two demos.
So you don't need to keep these together, though.
Classic 2 demo situation.
Classic 2 demos.
This I'm keeping. It is the box for Kabuki Fighter.
Not the game?
Game's in there, but I'll be selling it. Yeah.
You're going to sell the game.
Just love this game.
Why are you going to sell the game?
Because I already have it.
Oh, you already have it.
Yeah. Yeah, I bought it at
That's
Siege.
a cool box.
It's a really cool box.
That's a neat box.
I'm glad we agree on that. All right, Josh, just a couple more items to go here. And then we will be at the return, the finish. I don't know. That's how I'm going to do this. Okay. Didn't have Castlevania Portrait of Ruin on the DS. This is the last one I needed for my DS set of Castlevania games.
I like that game quite a bit.
Bought this from someone. Normally I don't pay quite this much for a game. I paid $55 for it, which is about retail.
Okay.
Except for the vendor, total sweetheart, and he and his wife were expecting their first child. So I was like, let's go.
Oh, okay.
I'm doing it.
Sure.
Let's go.
I like this game. I think this is actually a good Castlevania game. So.
Okay. All right. Let's keep the gravy train going here with Painkiller, Hell and Damnation on the PS3. Now, here's why I bought this game. It's a first-person shooter.
Yeah.
The original print of this game is worth about $300, $250 to $300.
This is not that.
This is a reprint because it says THQ Nordic on the cover.
Yes.
The original one does not say that. It says something else. And I believe this does not even have a manual in it.
Okay.
Which is, the original one does. But you can find this on Mercari and on a few other places for like this $50 to $60 range. And I was always like, that's a little more than I want to spend.
Yeah.
But they had it at the expo for $50. They went down to $40, and I was like, I just want to play the game. I'm getting it.
Okay.
So
now you got it.
it's a first.
Yeah, Painkiller, Hell and Damnation is like a new version of it, because Painkiller, I think, was just the name Painkiller.
That's it, and it's sort of like a Doom clone. Is what
right,
is my
right.
understanding of the game. So I just want to play it. I'm a sucker for first-person shooters.
Okay.
Wanted to get what is known. Do you know anything about this game, Josh?
Yeah. Is this a cartoon?
They wanted it to be.
Oh, okay. Because
Matt
this looks...
McMuscles, aka What Happened, has a great What Happened
video
on
about
this game. It is known as one of the very worst Xbox games ever.
Really?
If not the worst.
Double-fisted pistol action.
It looks awesome.
How do you go wrong with that?
Like, look at the art design on the cover.
Yeah, totally. It looks like a cartoon.
It's so cool. It looks like a great game. It's just terrible.
It would have been better if they could have got that 100th dragon.
Right?
Yeah. 99 dragons makes me feel like it's a discount. You paid 99 cents for things, I get 99 dragons. I'm like, I'm not getting all the dragons I should have.
Yeah, it's a 99 dragons, but a good game ain't one.
Right.
So, unfortunately. But I just wanted to get this
all
and
right,
play it.
Now you own it.
And now I can.
It.
It's Majesco. That tells you.
Yeah.
If you see Majesco and Titus on your retro games, just anticipate.
You know what you're getting.
It's going to be
when you say LJN, you go, okay.
Yeah, I
get it.
Titus and Majesco are possibly the LJN of the
Xbox.
But now here's something that I had to get.
Okay.
Anything from the original N64 era.
Yes. It's kind of your thing.
Didn't know that they had a licensed steering wheel. You can see right here.
What?
Official Nintendo seal of quality.
The ASCII wheel?
Look here. Mario Kart, F-Zero, Cruisin' World, Diddy Kong. It's like...
The 4 racing games that showed up.
Well, all right, N64 has like 1,000 racing games.
Does it really?
You obviously don't know what you're talking about.
I don't.
But here's the fun thing about this.
Wow, I've never seen a wheel for a...
I had never seen this before. I did not know...
So do they say... are they saying that these are the only games that it works with, or is it just a controller and it'll work with anything?
It'll work with anything.
So you can play it.
You can play it on any racing game. But if you look at the date on here somewhere,
is it older?
It's like it says like 90 something. But anyway, but the point is, it's from the N64's original era. I never saw this at stores, or if I did, I don't recall it.
This is a no-brainer.
And,
you have to buy this.
I got it for...
I think that you're contractually obligated to buy it. 98.
So
Couple years.
I looked these up. I think what happened was like a stockpile of these fell off of a truck, and then they were like...
Did they just show up? All of a sudden, these things started showing up?
I truly think that that's what happened here. So
somebody found them in a warehouse or like a game store storage locker, right?
Yeah.
Or like a store.
I think that's what happened because there's a bunch of them on eBay that you can get right now for like $35 shipped.
And then once those are gone, it's probably over.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's remaking these.
No.
That would be crazy. But
I also have a feeling that like the wheel for N64 probably didn't do very well.
It probably did not.
Right.
What I like about this, though, there's no foot pedals. So, like, that was always one of the worst things about these is, like, they would slip and you'd have to build little contraptions for them. So.
Or, like, get an actual frame of a car and put it in your living room that some psychos would do.
Yeah. Is this a need or not for you?
This is...
Be honest, Josh.
It would violate my principle of gnawing things that are for N64 out of principle. Yeah. But I do think it's kind of neat. So I'm torn because it's for the worst console, but it is a neat wheel. But also wheels are kind of dumb, right? Like
wheels are kind of dumb.
Wheels are kind of dumb, but I do think it's neat. I think it's neat that you found this. Yeah. I've never seen it.
I will probably open this. Yeah. I just love everything about how this looks and feels.
Yeah.
More than I...
Is there any other wheel for the N64?
There's one. I have one right over there, actually.
Oh. This Mad Catz?
Like a Mad Catz one. Yeah, there's a few of those.
Okay.
They're just not great.
Right. So. But there wasn't... This is not the only one.
This is not the only one.
Okay.
So. Well, cool. Josh, we've podcasted.
We done did it!
It only took almost a year.
It only took almost a year.
Not for lack of trying.
No.
But your band was touring Japan with... who were you guys touring with again?
We were touring with Japan X.
That's who it was with.
What's another GIF?
You're opening for that Baby Metal band.
Baby Metal. Yeah, we played with Baby Metal.
You guys did. I heard you guys.
We did a cover of Baby Metal's song "Gimme Chocolate."
Yeah, and I heard you guys didn't steal the show. That was the review.
No, the reviews were, "Why is this happening?" and I think we got, the embassy called us and we're like, "You guys have to leave."
Yeah, we're getting some interesting phone calls about you guys. But we're gonna be.
They're our allies. That's what we got. We got yelled at about. They're like, "These are our allies."
Yeah.
And I'm like, we didn't think it was that bad.
Well, we're gonna be back soon, though.
Yes.
We're gonna have some exciting things to come. I'm excited to see you again here back at the garage. One day we'll have to go to your game room because you have a huge game room.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's on your Steam library. It just holds it up like this.
That's why I was going to say
his game room.
It's on a hard drive.
Yeah, amazing.
I think if I say it now on here, we're contractually obligated to do it. Like, I think we should play some games.
We have to play some games.
I think that would be fun to play some games.
Yeah.
A little bit, maybe more longer than 10 minutes, 20 minutes, right?
I 100% agree.
Yeah. Dig into some games. Yeah, it'd be fun.
Let's play Drake of the 99 Dragons live right now.
I could be persuaded. I don't know. That sounds terrible. I mean, you didn't sell the game very well.
I wasn't supposed.
It was like, this is one of the worst games ever made.
Yeah, that's my thing though. Is I love terrible stuff.
No, that's true. I guess if I'm thinking about it, it's like, yes, then I probably should see it.
You should.
Yeah. So.
Right. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back hopefully much sooner than 6 months from now.
We'll see. Look, no promises. All right, you take what you can get.
And also, if you have
being the nice one, I'm bad cop.
But if you have any game characters that you would invite,
you
would want us to go through our RSVP
please let us know in the comments.
Because we have a few barbecues. There's graduation party barbecue.
Okay. Oh yeah.
For that one, you got to know who's gonna give the best speech.
It doesn't stop. Oh my gosh.
Wedding receptions.
Oh my gosh.
Who's your best man or best woman on your team?
There's a lot of fake events we're gonna have to set up in other states.
Can't wait. Sayonara.
See ya.